Vice begins a new round of layoffs as company shifts to video. So this was announced a few days back, and the salt was like so thick you could taste it when you got within a few feet of it. Oh God. All these journalists were just so salty at YouTubers again because we took their Jerbs. It's called competition. Like say, I'm not bitching when better and bigger YouTubers than me are pulling in 15,000 viewers in a stream. Like, why don't I get that many viewers? Like, well, maybe if I was as entertaining as those guys, I fucking would. Maybe one day I will. It's possible. Who fucking knows? When Dr. Disrespect was starting out, he was getting shout outs and advice from Wings of Redemption. Now look at them. If you're complaining that someone else has what you want, do better. That's all you have to do. Figure out why everyone would rather be with the other guys than with you and do more of what the other guys do. It's that simple. Vice Media quietly enacted a new round of layoffs Thursday as the Brooklyn-based Gonzo News Company continued to shift its focus towards video content. A memo from Vice's chief digital officer, Corey Haik, that was peppered with corporate speak. That's literally every corporate memo. It heralded a growth period of the last 2 years and buried news of the layoffs 15 paragraphs down. As part of the continued global alignment, we've unfortunately had to say goodbye to some of our friends and colleagues. We wish them well and thank them for their dedicated service over the years, Haik wrote in the memo leaked to the Post. Now, what I'm waiting for is the announcement of all the layoffs that are going to be happening at Crunchyroll and Funimation. Because Sony only needs one of those studios. They're going to be merged together, and half of the people there are going to get fired. Vice's union, which is affiliated with the Writers Guild of America East, put the total layoff number at 17, calling the layoffs a macabre ritual. The union said in a statement that it is dismayed that the company's only acknowledgement of these layoffs come in the third to last paragraph of a 1,100-word email from the company's chief digital officer, announcing managerial promotions, a global alignment, and the achievement of arbitrary social media metrics. Isn't it just hilarious that you guys are getting bitten in the ass by your own global bullshit? Yeah, it was all fun and games when you were destroying the things we loved in the name of global standards. But then when you realize the global team over in Serbia can do your job better than you for a quarter of the price, now suddenly you're not laughing anymore, are you? Whatever, not my problem. Learn to code, bitch. Now, we have worked in this industry long enough to know that today's metrics are tomorrow's punchline, and yesterday's pivot is today's clumsy tumble, the union added. What makes our work meaningful is the expertise and hard work of the people casually brushed aside today. So the expertise of the people who have algorithms write their headlines, right? Yeah. The Vice declines to comment. Oh, no need to comment. We'll point and laugh. The layoffs come just weeks after the company, which also owns female-focused site Refinery29 and fashion publication ID, announced it was focusing on video again. So like Clownfish has been pointing out, what this is the venture capital ran out. All of these fake news outlets have been, they've not been profitable. They've been coasting on venture capital money. And eventually, even the activist investors eventually start asking, hey, when are we going to start seeing a return on this investment? Like, hey, these government lockdowns really hurt my bottom line. I can't afford to keep giving you money just to push my agenda anymore. You're going to have to start making your own money. And now all of them, like Vice, BuzzFeed, all of these garbage tier fake news outlets are scrambling for money. A source with knowledge clarified that Vice's video pivot doesn't mean it's doing away with the written word, noting that digital news reporting is thriving at Vice News. Thursday's layoffs mainly come from Refinery29 as well as Vice's lifestyle-centric digital sites like Noisy and Munchies, with which cover music and food respectively. Those sites will have fewer articles and more videos in the future. So they looked at the numbers and they saw what was making money and what was costing money, and they made business decisions. See, to these guys, it seems like oppression or something, but it's really just companies that used to focus primarily on pushing their agenda and their ideology, faced with the financial reality that the venture capital money has ran out. So now they have to start operating like businesses. And while higher ups at Vice insist its move to video has been evolving over the past 2 years, and New York Lies reported last month the decision was more sudden, and that Vice would be putting a greater emphasis on videos and other forms of visual storytelling. So, you know what's actually hilarious with this, though? Every time these guys try to do a video, they end up failing spectacularly. These guys are that bad. And look at what happened when Brie Larson jumped in. I mean, she got bigger than me pretty quickly, which isn't really saying much. But for someone of her pedigree, she should have been way bigger. So laid off Vice workers took to social media on Thursday to spill the news. So keep in mind who these people are. Yeah, check their history if they've been if they've been spewing hate and activism on their timeline. You know who to add to the list of people to never hire. In March of current year -1, I said I'll be laid off before I work in that office again. And honestly, it feels good to be right, twatted Kate Dries, who edits the magazine features at Vice. Other layoffs included the heads of various desks, including digital managing editor Meredith Balkus, life editorial director Casey Johnson, and writers Josh Terry and Jalissa Castro-Dale, who confirmed their departures on Twitter. Founded as Vice magazine in, current year -27 by Shane Smith, the company steadily made its push to a video and TV. By current year -8, Vice had its own weekly news show on HBO. 3 years later, it launched a cable channel, Viceland, which slumped in the ratings. By current year -2, the HBO show and the cable channel were canceled, and Smith was replaced as CEO by A&E boss Nancy Dubuc. Under Dubuc, there have been several rounds of reorganization, including the recent chopping 155 jobs that primarily hit Vice's digital teams. No one is going to pay your bills anymore. And this same thing is coming for the comic industry. Since all the comic artists and writers that were actually good enough to turn a profit for the company have left, no one's going to be left anymore to pay your guys' bills. All these people complaining, they cost the company money. They don't bring in any money. They don't bring in a profit. They're bloat. And now there's only bloat left. How do you think that's going to work out for you? Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.